Day 4. Job chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are seasons in life when things fall apart so suddenly that we don't even have time to pray first. One phone call, one message, one unexpected turn. And suddenly, everything you thought was stable is shaking. Listen. One day, the Bible says, the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. Spiritual activity is real, and not everything happening around your life starts with you. Some battles are not reactions to your mistakes, but responses to your obedience. Satan did not accuse Job of sin. Instead, he questioned Job's motives. Does Job fear God for nothing? In other words, is he faithful only because life is good? This question still echoes today. Would you still trust God if the blessings paused? Would your integrity survive loss? Would your faith remain if the rewards were removed? Then comes this statement. Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? Many people pray for open doors but overlook hedges. A hedge is not glamorous. It is quiet protection. It is the reason some disasters never reached you. It is why certain plans failed. It is why some relationships never worked. And sometimes, when God allows the hedge to be tested, we suddenly realize how much was being held back on our behalf. Job loses his wealth. He loses his servants. He loses his children, one wave after another. Yet we know that, in all this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. Job mourned. He cried. He tore his robe. He sat in ashes. But he did not accuse God of evil. Listen, grief is not sin, and questioning pain is not rebellion. What mattered was not that Job understood, but that he refused to distort God's character because of his pain. Then comes the moment many people struggle with. Job's wife speaks. Curse God and die. Her words sound harsh, but they come from exhaustion and loss. Job responds, You are talking like a foolish woman. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble? This is not a statement of denial. It is a statement of maturity. Job is saying, if I trust God when life is good, I cannot suddenly decide he is untrustworthy when life is hard. This is especially relevant today, in a culture that measures truth by comfort. Faith that only works in ease is not faith, it is convenience. As the story continues, Job does something many strong people do. He finally speaks his pain out loud. He does not curse God, but he curses the day he was born. He asks haunting questions. Why was I not hidden away like a stillborn child? So righteous people can even have dark thoughts when suffering is prolonged. Job is not suicidal. He is exhausted. He is overwhelmed by unanswered why questions. This is for the person listening who is doing their best, but feels emotionally worn down. Feeling tired of life is not the same as wanting to end it. God does not rebuke Job for expressing this pain. Job then asks another overlooked question. Why is life given to a man whose way is hidden, whom God has hedged in? In other words, why am I alive when I don't understand my direction? Many people enter a new year with this same confusion. You are alive, capable, willing, but the way forward feels blocked. Job reminds us that confusion does not cancel purpose. Sometimes the hedge that feels like restriction is actually protection until clarity comes. Then his friends arrive. For 7 days, they sit in silence. That was the best thing they did. The damage came when they began to speak. Eliphaz suggests that suffering always comes from wrongdoing. He says things like, Are not the cords of their tent pulled up so that they die without wisdom? In essence, bad things happen to bad people. This mindset still exists today. People assume your struggle must be your fault. But Job's story reminds us that not all suffering is corrective. Some suffering is mysterious. Yet even in flawed advice, there is truth. Eliphaz says something profound. For he wounds, but he also binds up. He injures, but his hands also heal. This does not mean God is cruel. It means God is sovereign, even over pain, and pain is never the final chapter. For those stepping into a new year, this is your encouragement. If life is quiet right now, thank God for the hedge. If life feels shaken, do not assume God has abandoned you. If you are tired of being strong, know that Job was righteous and weary. If people misunderstand your pain, God still understands your heart. If you feel wounded, remember that the same hands that allowed the wound also hold the healing. The book of Job does not begin with answers. It begins with trust without explanations. And sometimes that is the faith that carries us forward. Faith is not proven by comfort. Hope is not cancelled by confusion. And God's silence is not the same as his absence. Even when you don't see the hedge, even when you don't understand the pain, the story is not over.